What's up everyone? Today's Geeky Acrylics video, I just want to talk about clear coating your Funkos, applying a varnish to protect them. In a previous video, I mentioned Minwax polyacrylic. That's what I've been using for over a year now for clear coating and protecting my finished Funko Pops. So I've been using a clear gloss. Always go with water-based, no matter what you use. Assuming you're painting these with acrylics, you want to go with a water-based. I haven't had any problems with it. I literally picked it because I researched online and found that a lot of people who worked with polymer clay, whether that's for like polymer clay, like jewelry pieces or sculpts and stuff like that, found success with polyacrylic because it dried well. It didn't give that sticky tacky feeling that can sometimes be associated with clear coats. And I knew I didn't want to do anything with like a spray. Some people use some kind of Krylon clear coat, and I just don't feel comfortable, have the confidence with my spray paint abilities. I tend to overspray certain areas, and I didn't want to risk that with my Funkos. I put so much time into them. I don't want to mess it up with the final step. But I did get a customer request in October of last year, and they wanted a matte finish. I have researched and found that with matte finishes, a lot of people say that it can make your dark colors, especially your blacks, pretty cloudy. I didn't want them to have like cloudy eyes, or some of my Funko designs did have a lot of black and dark colors in it, and I didn't want that to be an issue. So I went with the middle ground, and I found another popular varnish for polymer clay, which is Varathane Ultimate Polyurethane. Again, water-based as always, but this one has a crystal clear satin finish, and I'm really enjoying this. I've actually switched, and all my Funko Pops are now being protected with 2 coats of this. Not to say that the polyacrylic isn't bad, but it is pretty glossy, and not everyone wants that. So I did switch. You can get it in a matte or a gloss finish, but I'm really loving the results I get with satin, and I think this is probably the varnish I'm going to stick with for the time being. So I do have some Funkos here that I'm going to clear coat tonight, but I'm going to do my best to show you. I don't know if the lighting, if the camera's going to pick it up well. Probably not. So Rita here on the right does have the gloss, and Rita on the left has the satin. And I guess you could kind of see it in her skirt here. It is a bit of a finish. You can tell more in person than probably what the camera is going to pick up here. You can see it in the hair too. There's a lot more shine to the hair and to the face. Like you're probably getting kind of a glare on that, to be honest. So yeah, polyacrylic gloss, polyurethane, satin. Let's see if I can zoom in more. Either one is going to be a great choice for customizing pops, and I don't really think there was a lot of price difference. Maybe it was like $1 difference in the can. I bought this originally a long time ago. This is like my second jar. I forgot to put the lid on the first one, and the polyacrylic dried out. So I did have to order a new one. I want to say it was like maybe like $9. And this one I think might have been like might have been 10 something. But yeah, not a huge price difference. Either one's great. I think I had to go with this one because I don't think at the time I could find a satin finish for polyacrylic, the Minwax type. But I'd heard people having good results with Varathane, so I want to give it a try. And when you apply it, it does have kind of a milky color, more so than the polyacrylic. And you might be like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But it dries completely clear, a satin finish. I got more on my brush than I really wanted to right now, but I'm not freaking out because it's not like varnish that I use on the canvas that starts getting tacky within like seconds. So I do have a little bit of time to kind of go in, move it around. I don't paint really thickly. When I do my Funkos, I always paint them in really thin coats, but I still give it about 3 to 5 days before I go back and apply the clear coat. You just always want to make sure it's super, super dry before you apply this. So yeah, it's going to dry with just a slight more shine than what you get from your acrylics anyways. It's not a huge difference. So I think it looks really nice when it's done. So yeah, I'll put on a full coat and I will let it dry and come back and do a second coat. The second coat's really all I need. I just have to be really careful because sometimes the acrylic paints do have a shine to it and it's hard to see. Once it's drying, it's hard to see where I haven't brushed it on. So yeah, basically don't worry about the milky color. It's still gonna dry clear. If you feel uncertain about the varnish you're using, whether you're using this or something else, always do like a test piece first. Like sometimes I will, if I'm using something new, like when I first tested out this Varathane, I basically just like tested it on a bottom of one of their feet, and that like someplace small and unnoticeable, so that you can test it without like messing anything up. One time I went to test to see if a certain marker would hold if I varnished over the design I drew on with the marker, and it did. It worked fine with this, but in order to make sure, I just tested it out by doing it on the bottom of one of their feet. I just signed and dated the bottom, and once it was dry, I gave it a varnish, just a nice thin coat, and it handled it really well. So don't be scared to test things out and see what works best for you. I'm definitely digging this varnish, so I hope I'm able to keep using this brand. There's always the fear that something's going to get discontinued, but in that case, I'll just try something new. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you use, if you use something different, whether that's a spray or a brush-on varnish. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. And let me know what other type of videos you would like to see. If you're new here and you want to see more tips and tutorial videos, time-lapse of my custom Funko pieces, make sure to give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will be back with more Geeky Acrylics videos. Thank you.